How do you get a doctor's chart into evidence? Would you like to learn the answer? Come join me. Hi, I'm Jerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury trial attorney practicing law here in the state of New York. There are a number of ways to get a doctor's chart into evidence. One of the ways is known as a business record exception. And what that means is that the doctor's records are kept in the ordinary course of business and the doctor was treating this particular patient. And as a result of the business record, the fact that he keeps these records in the ordinary course of business, we are then allowed and permitted to enter those records into evidence. Now, one of the things that we also like to do is to establish the authenticity of the particular records that are involved. So, at the doctor's pretrial testimony, at his deposition, a question and answer session given under oath, the questioning will typically go like this with regard to the medical records. Doctor, you brought with you the patient's chart today, correct? You brought the original records, true? And you brought with you all of the patient's medical records, correct? There are no records other than what's contained in this chart that you brought with you, correct? Other than billing records, which may exist somewhere else, all of the patient's records that you recorded during the course of treatment are in this room today, correct? Yes. And when was the last time you reviewed those records? And now the doctor will tell me. All right, doctor, let's take a look at those records. And by the way, do you have notes for this patient in any other place, either in your office, in your home, or any place else? Why do I ask that? Because I want to know if there are any other notes regarding this particular patient that may not be contained within this particular record. There may be certain things in the doctor's record. I may want to authenticate that this is in fact the doctor's handwriting and doctor's signature. Doctor, can you take a look at this particular record? Yes. And if you look at the bottom of it, it has your signature on the bottom. Is that true? Yes. And this is your original signature, correct? And you signed this note at this particular time, correct? And why did you sign this record at that time? And now the doctor will explain. And above your signature, doctor, is the patient's signature. Is that correct? Yes. And in fact, this is a piece of paper known as an informed consent sheet, correct? Yes. And now, doctor, let's go through that. And so now I'll ask the doctor certain questions about that particular sheet. In addition, I'm also going to ask the doctor whether these notes are in his own handwriting. Doctor, at the time you saw the patient, you made entries in the patient's chart, correct? And the reason you did that is because you wanted to record significant findings, true? And the reason you made significant findings and recorded them in the chart was so that at a later time you could then refer back to see what your examination consisted of, true? Yes. And what complaints the patient made, true? Yes. And what your physical examination was, right? And what tests you performed and what the results were, correct? And if you did not record that information, then you'd have a difficult time trying to remember exactly what occurred months and weeks earlier, true? Yes. And if there's another doctor in your office who comes in to treat the patient at a later time, they're not going to know what was done before. Is that correct? Yes. And if they don't know what was done before, they would then have to speak to you, to find you, to try and remember exactly what was done, correct? And doctor, would you agree that it's important that you keep accurate records? Yes. Would you agree that it's important you keep thorough records? Yes. So now the doctor has to agree that those things are critical and important. And in fact, as part of your business practice, you make entries in the chart every single day, true? What I've just done is give you a sample of the types of questions I ask during the course of a doctor's deposition to establish that the records are authentic, to establish that they are accurate, and that they have certain information that the doctor has recorded during the time the patient was treated by this particular doctor. So why do I tell you this, and why is this important for you? Well, chances are you're watching this, you have questions or concerns about your own particular matter. Well, if your matter happened here in the state of New York, what I encourage you to do if you have legal questions is pick up the phone and call me. I answer legal questions like yours every single day. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at lawmed10@yahoo.com. I'm Jerry Oginski here in New York. Thanks for watching.